Welcome to the Deucecast Extra. We are live on Monday still Mondays for Ahsoka and maybe even Loki. I mean, I don't know what they're going to be doing. I do like the prime time. And no, I'm not talking about Colorado. I'm talking about the 8:00 start time. So I do enjoy that. So we're going to talk about Ahsoka Pt3, Time to Fly. So
they did.
And fly they did. Hey, look, all the space stuff was good. I liked all the ship work.
Yeah, I agree.
Everything. The CG looked good on all the ships. Yes, it did. Rhett, you're looking like you're scoffing.
CG did. Sure, yeah, CG is fine.
Yeah, I liked all of it. Garrison, how's it going, man? Big win last night.
Yeah, it's an exciting win. I really enjoyed it.
I can tell you're excited about it.
Yeah, I was going a bit nuts.
Garrison's running the deep V tonight too.
Yeah, it's not a deep V. It's just a worn out shirt.
Yeah, a lot of changes this evening. a lot of different stuff going on tonight.
I started out the game. I was doing a broadcast with the coach of the local high school team I cover. We do a coaches show Sunday nights from 7 to 7:30. Which kickoff was like 7:44 or whatever. He's an LSU fan, so we talked trash to each other on air. He told me they were going to kick our butts. I didn't say that bad, but guess I got the last laugh. We'll see next week.
Yeah, you
probably won't want to talk about the game next week. Got home in the second quarter, and I had the time of my life. That was great. It was
Ted, awesome Matt, Andrew, how's it going? Everybody hanging out in the chat on a Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day, everybody.
Still loving Ahsoka or no, not really.
No, it's not great.
So it is great. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know it's not great.
This episode, after a second viewing, it was fine.
It's better with a second viewing. I hear.
I'll tell you why in a minute.
Okay.
I watched it.
Earl. Oh, did you? Good.
Yeah.
Earl, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, it's great. Had a great Labor Day.
Yeah.
Got up early, did my run.
Hey, same.
Hey, good, man. Good.
I don't run, but I walk.
Did some work on Labor Day.
How far did you run?
3.3, I guess. 3.5.
3.3.
I walked
3.
Work in the mines all day today.
Nate, what's up? What's up? Oh man, Nate with the so bad.
Oh no!
Oh, man.
Come on, Nate. No,
Nate.
You forgot an H in there, Nate.
Yeah, you forgot an H.
So bad.
Roth, how's it going, buddy? How'd the Wyoming game go for you?
Hey, Big Tex. Who cares about the Big 12? The Mountain West is ready to supplant them as a Power 4 conference.
Do it.
Do it.
I gotta say the Pac-12. Sorry for all the football talk, but the Pac-12 going 13-0. It's probably the best season that in general the Pac-12 will have, and they're dissolving after this season. It's pathetic. It's just absolutely
Give me
pathetic.
Washington State and Oregon State in the Mountain West, and that's your new Power 5.
I heard a great conspiracy theory, and that was all these Pac-12 teams are good enough to go to other conferences and get paid money, but they can't get paid money together as the Pac-12. I think the guys who control the TV contracts just wanted to pay 4 conferences and not 5.
That's very true.
Look, I am for that conspiracy.
It's got to be something to do with households too, right? Like they're all dirty hippies over there, and they don't like competitive man sports, right?
No, I mean
if there were households, if they were approaching a high number of households, they'd be getting the TV money. There'd be interest.
Right. That's why they don't play defense over there. They're not hard hitting over there.
They're not hard
hitting. Also, think about it. Think about the powerhouses of football. Like Pennsylvania, sure. There's your East Coast. New Jersey has some good high school football as well. The South, obviously, a good high school football bed of talent. The Midwest has your big corn-fed boys like Nebraska and Iowa. But California, you have recruiting there because there's so many people. But that's
but they don't watch.
Right.
I mean, even USC's fan
they watch
base,
soccer over there.
Yeah.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with soccer. I respect soccer. Okay, Earl. Look, Earl.
Matt says they're kicking the hacky sack. That's
Earl's. Yeah, that's right. Earl's complaining. We need to stop. No more sports.
Well, how about this?
talk.
Hey, Garrison, Rhett, Dr. Earl, would you guys like to unionize against Michael since it is Labor Day?
What? What?
Are you getting paid for this?
We can just strike.
No, that's why we need to unionize.
Because you're not getting paid, you need to unionize. Well, yeah.
We're going to put out any bad episodes.
Hey, Roth, you got your episode out so late today. I didn't have a chance to listen to it. I was just,
I went to go do it last night, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch something, and I don't have to work tomorrow, so I'll get it out mid-afternoon.
Yeah. Nate,
wow,
we know.
What did we drop? What did we drop today? Or should we talk about that at first?
Yeah, we can talk about it later,
We
but
can
it was
talk
a
about it.
French film.
Let's.
From 1963.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You have my attention now.
Let's talk about this episode again. Written by Dave Filoni, directed again by
yeah.
Steph Green. Capable television director, has done such things as Watchmen and other things.
Played
But
Howard
Watchmen
the
was-
Duck in the MCU.
Steph Green. That's not the same one.
Wait, it might be. We don't know.
Steph. There's a T. Steph Green.
Like Steph Curry.
I believe there's different parts.
You're thinking
involved
Seth
there.
Green, I think.
So we jump back into the politics of Star Wars, which everyone loves. We've got Hera trying to politic to.
That's not where we start. And that's not where the episode started.
Let's start with the training montage.
Were you asleep?
Oh,
Michael, we had a whole training.
I tried to block that out.
Most of us watched this episode like a week ago. Who can
Let me tell you.
Did y'all not rewatch? Y'all need to
And we didn't have to go in order. We never have to go in order.
I have
but-
something to address about the training montage.
Yeah, it's very. They used some.
It's 4.5 minutes long.
It is a long training montage.
From the time that she says the stupid line, I can't see how am I supposed to fight. It's another minute, almost 2 minutes, minute and 56. Okay,
Sure. Yeah.
I watched all of A New Hope the other day, and let me tell you, when I would normally call it Star Wars, but when I saw it as a child, it was Star Wars. Okay,
Star Wars.
I call it A New Hope
It was the
only
Star
for reasons of disambiguation.
Yeah,
But when
sure.
I was watching A New Hope,
For the record, I call it Star Wars as well.
okay, good.
Yeah.
I just watched that whole training montage with Luke and Obi-Wan, including the game with Chewbacca and R2, including Han Solo talking about how silly the Force is, including Ben Kenobi getting weak from Alderaan blowing up, was only 3 minutes long. Okay, it's 3:08. Okay, and
there's a lot more going on there.
There's a whole lot more going on.
Yeah.
And you talk about A New Hope. Like when I watched it, I think I mentioned it on here. It's not well paced compared to what we see today.
It's worse paced due to inserted scenes.
But right, well, yeah, you're right.
Fair enough.
As slow paced as it was, it took 3 minutes to do all of that. And
Right.
This show took 4.5 minutes for that training montage.
But there was more training. There was like spiritual focusing.
There was spiritual focus in A New Hope.
I'll be honest with you.
So what I guess the point is, this show moves at a snail's pace, and it's not doing anything. There's not there like all
we
better writers, better directors, better editors do that in a lot less time than this show does it. So I want to point that out about the training montage.
That's fair.
Otherwise, it was Ahsoka being overly stoic. I know. Spoiler alert! Later in the episode, she creaks a smile. You can see all the.
She has a nice little
see the
smile.
makeup just curdle up because it's the first time it's had to react to emotion on her face.
Look, you've already made Garrison check out, Rhett. Look, you've already made Garrison.
What's wrong about what I said?
out.
It's the same scene as A New Hope, and it's much better delivered in A New Hope.
Yeah,
I mean, there was some good.
I don't think it was the same scene as a New Hope. I felt like it felt a
No,
lot more.
You're right. There's a lot more information delivered on A New Hope than in.
All right, it felt a lot more like one of those samurai films, though, which they kind of
Right.
reference with Zatoichi and stuff like that.
Which is a big Filoni thing, right? He's
It
very
is
focused
like
on
samurai stuff.
He's
Yeah.
a cartoon
samurai
guy.
lore and
The
No,
music was
not
very.
just
I
cartoon.
appreciated the music for it. It had some
Oh,
samurai
yeah.
flair to it. You know,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
sounded
yeah,
like
yeah,
you're
yeah.
playing on one of those. I don't know. The Japanese have silly instruments, but it sounded one of those.
Yeah. Look, I love that's the one thing I really like about this whole show so far is the score. The score is really, really good. It's Kevin Kiner,
Kevin Kiner,
probably his sons helping out too. It's really good. I like it.
The score is great. No, so to Rhett's point, this feels like an episode that if you had a 22 show arc, this would make a lot of sense. But you know that you're moving at a little bit slower pace, which I think that's where Filoni's been living, is that you live in these 30-minute increments and build your story slowly. I do feel though that the story is moving forward by the end of this episode. But you're right, the training montage. Yeah. Let me say this about this whole thing with Ahsoka and Sabine, Master and Apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
I know that this is a Jedi thing, and Filoni wants to have this echo Anakin and
it's
Ahsoka, but I don't know why we need Sabine to be interested in becoming a Jedi, because that was not what that was not a Rebels thing. Like, she was already a capable fighter.
Yeah.
And I felt like
an incapable fighter now. She can't hit a shot.
It's just.
Have you ever tried to shoot a spaceship?
Oh no, not a spaceship.
Yeah,
but we'll get to that scene later.
Earl.
So I mean, but yeah, Filoni being a cartoon guy, he works in these 30-minute increments or whatever. But those were frenetic episodes. Things happened.
Well, some of them are. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And there's these are a little more plotting.
I would disagree, at least as far as the space fight scenes.
The ending
are
got more exciting.
Yeah, I think
the space fight scene is also boring, and I will explain it.
Oh no, that's.
Yes.
Rewatch it. Did you rewatch it?
Oh, wow, I did rewatch it.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I spent too much time rewatching Florida State LSU.
That's okay.
Garrison, the game can only be played once.
Roth, help us out here.
Help us out. You can give us the
what did you think of the
Bring
episode?
the Western wisdom to us.
The Western wisdom.
Yes. I remember most of this episode, I think. I watched it last Tuesday on time.
Good.
And
Thank you.
I will agree with Rhett that the whole Sabine stuff was not great. I liked Ahsoka this episode.
Mm-hmm.
She's definitely at a different place than we've seen her last, which is taking some getting used to. And by seeing her last, I mean not the Mandalorian stuff or the Book of Boba Fett stuff, but like the actual like Ahsoka Rebels.
Well, she's grown up. She's more stoic. She's been through war.
I mean, it's like what, like 9, 10, 11 years later. Like that makes sense. Like for sure.
She doesn't say Sky
no,
Guy.
like
Hey, Sky
it makes sense that we're we're seeing her in a different place. I did listen to the first 2 episode recap of or Rebel Force Radio was the first 2 episode review today, and the mystery box thing doesn't seem to be unveiled much more in this episode.
Much of a mystery box thing.
No, but there is with the Ahsoka character. Like, we don't know why she's at this place that she's at, and that's not really that Star Wars to me. Like, we pretty much know where most of the characters are at. They're most of the 6
Star Wars
movies.
was never mystery box until J.J. Abrams put his stink on it.
I don't feel like this series is mystery box that much.
Yeah, I didn't really feel like it's that mystery.
It's not mystery box, but if you're familiar with everything, you're like, why are these characters in these positions? Like, why is Ahsoka so stoic when last time we saw her, she wasn't as stoic? Like, she was more stoic in Rebels than she was in Clone Wars for sure. But
I like Brian's point here. I think she's trying to not teach in the style of her,
that's
old
fair.
master. Yeah,
but
I think that's fair. It doesn't seem like we're like this episode there wasn't really that much that happened. Like, as the audience, we don't know that much more information.
I think the mystery box you're talking about. So, and maybe you guys can correct me, but at the end of Rebels season 4, did Ahsoka recruit Sabine to teach her to be a Jedi?
No. So
this always happened off
the end of Rebels,
off screen.
Okay.
Like the last season of Rebels, we get Ezra pulling Ahsoka out of the
world between
Darth
worlds.
Vader fight,
Yeah.
but then she goes back into that same spot, and it's presumed that she pretty much stays hidden for those next years, and then the next time we see her is
Mando
pulling up to Sabine, and Sabine touches the picture, and that's the next time we see Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And so
but that
we don't know any of that stuff.
Some years later, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't think here's the issue I take with that. It's a very small one, Roth, is I don't think she's a mystery box because I don't think we're meant to know why she is stoic now. I think it's just because nobody's addressed it in the show. Nobody's trying to pull her out, like, oh, you know what, you need to step up or anything. Nobody's addressed that at all. This is the character. It's not a mystery box.
I think they're just saying this is
whether it makes sense or not.
I think they're just saying this is a mature version of Ahsoka. Not
and there's always been
when she's with her friends, like she's just one and two people having a drink. She's still dour. She's still this overly stoic. And that's performance. Okay,
well, Qui-Gon was overly stoic most of the time.
No,
sure, but
he was.
He's
all the jokes he said. There's
Qui-Gon is obviously also like the weakest Jedi we've ever seen because he's the only Jedi in the history of the Star Wars that's gotten killed by a gut shot.
Well, that's because it went through his spine. I saw a really good rendering of where the lightsaber wins.
No, it's really canon. In some of the books, he short sheeted Obi-Wan's bed. He was a prankster.
Oh, okay.
The EU books or what?
Yeah.
I think it was in
the
Rogue
DK.
Planet.
Hey, you want Snips? Let's bring
back
Snips.
Nate. Snips ain't coming back.
I like Snips, R2E,
Sky Guy.
I don't mind the character growth. I think it, but it is. She is, and certainly for the first episode and a little bit of the second one, they were all that way. So there was just no dynamic between among any of them.
I think Sabine had a bit of a personality, but I tend to agree with you mostly. But I think Sabine had a bit of a personality.
She had more in this one too. She's the loose and the loose.
Sabine continues to be the best character in the show.
Yeah, in the show, right? I mean,
I will say that what I did like at the end of this. So Ahsoka's teaching her; she doesn't have the Force use,
right?
But then when they get in the space battle.
Yeah,
there's a point where Ahsoka says, Sabine, what do you want me to do? Like there's a point where she asks Sabine because she's been in more like space fight. And that's when she drops the ship. She goes, drop the ship down. And then she's going to shoot up at the P-13s or whatever those are pretty cool, by the way. I kind of like the design.
Oh, rose-colored glasses Earl over there. No, Sabine had failed miserably. Up to that point.
Well, I think
Ahsoka was saying, "What do you want me to do?"
That's a light bulb. No, that's a light bulb moment of we're not working on the same page right now. We need to get
okay. That's fair. That's fair. What
I
can
like
I do?
The second half of this episode. I like that ending.
It a lot. It moved
Sabine
at a fast pace.
Yeah,
I was fine with the first half.
I didn't have any. Okay, there's one big thing I think.
I did think the training went a bit long, but
yeah, it could have gone.
That was the only nitpick I had.
I like that he had those things that you had where you could see where the hits were when Hu Yang was training her.
I like the Hu Yang Sabine stuff. Like I think that's Hu Yang's I like the dynamic of
the most interesting character in the show. Now, you talk about
Nate.
I've got some issues with him.
Now I thought there was one.
Let's talk about Hu Yang for a minute.
Cool.
Let's talk about him for a minute because he's supposedly super old. Like he's been around for a long time, so he knows this vast history of Jedi.
I like this.
So for him to say Sabine's the worst he's ever seen, it's pretty hardcore. And he doubled down on it. Yeah, voiced by David Tennant. That's right, Brian.
No, I do like how Hu Yang is like, well, that's an understatement or something.
Yeah, he was like, "You said that to her?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's true. She's the worst." So Rhett, what are your problems with Hu Yang?
Well, I mean, it's not the character itself. I mean, I think Tennant's great. I mean, Hu Yang's the only one that's got a little spark of life. I mean, ironically, he's the only character that feels like he's alive out of this whole lot. But first of all, this
I like
it goes back to writing. It's this hackneyed. Oh, we drop out of hyperspace early because that to avoid detection.
Right.
Because that's the old Jedi way. Well, no, the reason they did that is so they could have a space battle between the hyperspace and the ring. I mean, that's why they did that.
Well, that's what I want to see. I want to see a space battle.
I don't have any problems with that.
That's goofy writing to say something silly like that because it doesn't make sense. Okay.
I'll agree that it's over-explained. Like, that's an obvious thing. Sabine didn't need to ask that question.
That's for us, and it's a dumb explanation. Like you risk detection more the longer you fly, right? I mean, that's just a dumb way to do it. But that's because they needed an excuse, and they wanted to over-explain why they were so far away.
Well, I'm glad we got a space battle out of it.
Yeah, okay. We get a space battle that have no stakes. There are no stakes in the space.
They got hit. They got hit.
Okay, they got hit
by the turbo lasers.
Now they're hit. Now they're disabled. Hu Yang inexplicably collapses because of. I mean, like the cabin didn't depressurize.
He got fried.
How was he injured?
He got fried
with the shot.
He got shocked.
He got shot by what?
But something.
Well, I didn't understand that either.
Something electrical.
Because
he's hooked up to the ship, and the shields just failed, and something electrical internally shocked him.
There's no hole in the cabin. Okay,
right.
So now
something shocked him.
So now they're dead in the water. They're inexplicably off the scope because if they weren't off the scope, they'd be destroyed immediately. So now the fighters come back in, and Ahsoka wants to go dance with them on the wing. The fighters,
that was cool stuff.
First of all, that was a Plo Koon move right there. That was her master.
The ship, but they don't shoot that. They're shooting her, but they are hitting the ship, and it's doing no damage. There are no stakes here.
Master Plo Koon.
You're talking about
them
shield
shooting
percentage.
the ship will do nothing to the ship. We've established it. Okay, so why bother? Why go through those motions unless you're brain addled and you don't know how to write?
Hey, this reminds me of the best name on the Star Wars card trader, Jocasta Nude. That was the best. That was the best screen name. Sorry, Red. I didn't mean to diminish your diatribe, but I mean,
it is interesting.
You have to understand, Red, that this show is not for people that like Expanse and BSG.
What you're replace that with adult.
It's a different type of science.
It's a child's show.
It is, and that's fine.
Okay, well then that's fine. But I want us as grown-ass men that we are reviewing and discussing a kids' TV show on this.
Yes, that is largely
so families can sit around the campfire and watch.
I wouldn't say it's a kids show. I would say it's a family show.
It's a family show. Yes. It's like TV 14, no, not 14. What's it? 14, 12.
Written like you've got an IQ under 80. Okay.
Look, Rhett, Andor has fried your brain. I mean, Star Wars is supposed to be more.
It's not just Andor.
I'm enjoying it.
It's many other examples of decent, straightforward, reasonable.
We're sorry, Garrison and
I have no problem with any of this. This is.
Well, I know you guys don't because you're not thinkers.
No, but no. Here's the difference. Maybe we're so much of thinkers that we're able to be like, this isn't what we're supposed to be thinking about.
Yeah, you can disconnect. You can understand that what you're getting into.
Look,
it's not high art.
I'm someone who physically I can't turn my brain off. People say that for movies, and I'm like, dude, I can't. But there are still some things that properties
insulted Andrew,
Star Wars and Godzilla versus Kong, where I can just go, this is dumb and fun.
Well, that's what I did, Rolf. That's what I do with like a Pacific Rim. I unabashedly love stupid Pacific Rim, but Pacific Rim knows exactly what it is. It's like,
well,
we
this
don't,
is too.
don't
I
overthink
think
how
Star
this
Wars
happened,
fully
why
knows
we
exactly
spent all
what.
this money on punching robots. Just accept that punching robots is cool.
This show is not
Yes,
trying to
but-
be
but-
anything different.
Star Wars.
That's what I'm saying. This is
They
supposed to
want
be
do
either.
more. They want to deliver some message, some grander idea, and the execution is awful. It's awful.
Well,
I don't know that there's
I
like
think it's
some grander idea that Filoni's trying to deliver.
We have always said it for decades.
Here's-
We said
well-
Star Wars is big. Star Wars is important. That's why
It
we're
used to
but
be.
no.
It
But
used
see,
to be.
I also
It
disagree
used-
that it used to be.
now.
It-
It is.
No, so what Star Wars has always been, what the original, if you want to say 6, but mainly the original 3 movies was telling a general message on a smaller scale with like an everyday person having to come up to a
Heroes
big
journey.
challenge, like the hero's journey type of deal.
Yeah.
That's hard to do over and over again. And that's certainly like, I like Rhett's points are valid where like when I was watching it of like the ship just disappearing off of the radar didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But I also didn't really care. Like I
Right.
just kind of took it as like whatever. That's just
I
what
took it
happens.
as it was inside the ring when they said that initially.
I
But
mean, we just
Yeah. I mean, like I took it as well. There's probably a reason that I could come up with in my mind to explain that away.
somebody
And
will be charged with coming up with that in a GK book or a
Well,
comic.
It had floated through the ring, right? So the radar was focused outward. The
Yeah, that's-
sensors.
I mean, this is now it's a crazy conversation. Like it happened.
Is that crazy?
It happened because they needed them not to be destroyed.
It's the Purgle. The Purgle messed up the
Purgle
Oh,
weren't
and we got
involved
to
yet.
see the Purgle.
Oh,
guys.
the Purgles were beautiful.
Oh, the
I
Purgle was awesome.
love
That was
the
pretty cool.
Purgles.
Yeah. If you
They were
So,
just they were
Rebels.
the scope of the Purgle was just as big as I wanted it to be.
Now,
was
Rhett, here's the
massive.
thing. Let me say the thing I have a problem with, and John Campia brought this to my attention.
Oh, here we go.
So
You and
The-
John Campia.
I know I'm a Campia guy, but here's the thing. Here's the one thing he had a problem with, and I agree with him. When Hera went to talk to the council, okay, and so here's the deal. They've had a Republic ship attacked by an unknown assailant with a
Right.
person taken away. They've had a hyperdrive stolen from Corellia.
Right.
And now Hera's like, look, we need to go investigate this thing. This is
Right.
and they're like, nah, we're not going to do that. Nah.
Well,
no,
to
we're
be
not- we're not
fair, Mon Mothma wasn't that way. It was that
But
Xiono
it
Joker.
It was the rest of the
Well, he's
DEI
going to end up
advertisement.
being he's an Empire guy probably, but
No, he's not. He's
again, they're
not.
also setting a lot of this up to show the government is kind of incompetent.
Well,
Yeah,
I know.
they've never.
I know.
Yeah, they've.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
was-
mean that whole
Wouldn't you
Senate,
investigate?
or that committee or whatever was one big DEI advertisement. It looked like a photoshopped cover of a
That's-
college catalog.
Hey, what's the name of the creature with the 3 eyes that was there? That's
Reese.
Yeah,
I
right,
don't know.
right. They're
I need to
the
get my DK
Aquarian.
book. Can I get my DK
no,
book?
it's not Aquarian. What is that guy? Who cares?
The 3 eyes is Reese, isn't it? I
Yeah,
don't
well,
know.
that's not that was the guy's
That's the
name.
character name. Yeah,
So-
I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
so listen, so why can't Hera
Well-
go help them herself? She has
No
her own.
funding.
She has to get permission. She's part
Because-
of the government.
She didn't get permission to go do this other thing.
We don't know that.
so
Hey,
true,
she
King.
might have.
So true. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank you,
Nate, that is
Oh, I
very true.
forgot. I forgot he had power. I forgot Garrison still had power.
Anytime I could just hijack this.
That's right. That's right.
So here's the other problem, like, because yes, that does not make sense for them, for the New Republic not to like
To go
investigate this,
Yeah.
but they are painted into this corner of the sequel trilogy stuff. And this
Yeah,
is the
maybe
first time really that like I've seen like the EU, like the new Disney EU kind of come into effect, because I don't read books in general, but I did listen to the 3 terrible, terrible Aftermath movies or novels.
Oh,
and
those were the
they
Chuck
were
Wendig
so
ones.
bad.
Good
But,
old
Oh,
yeah, the
Wendig.
Chuck Wendig ones.
Good
But
old
what
Chuck
was
Wendig.
pointed out in that is that the New Republic didn't want to help and didn't want to get involved in this, and they're just continuing that.
Okay.
And so
that's
it
fair.
seems like they're
Well,
painted
and we
into a
did have
corner where they
some
have
of
to do
that.
that to set up the sequel trilogy.
Well,
We
mind
did
you,
have
I'll,
some of that in
I'll buy
Mando
that,
season
Jacob.
3.
Thank you.
We had Mando season 3 where we saw the New Republic bureaucracy
yeah, they
being.
wouldn't send anybody out.
Yeah,
to
they
do
wouldn't
it,
help
even
with
if-
anything.
Yeah, they were kind of
My
like,
issue is with Hera. Like, okay, so her friends are now going into what she was going to send a fleet to
A
do.
fleet, right?
Now one ship is going to go do it, and she just says, "Sorry, guys." Like she doesn't try to help them. She doesn't suggest that they come back.
That
She
was
does
disappointing. You're right. I was disappointed in Hera in that situation because all she was doing was following
she has
orders.
her son. She's got to take care of her son.
She was following orders, and she
Look at her
probably
son. Did that
shouldn't
come
have.
out of her? Did Jason come
Yeah.
out of her?
Yes,
Yes.
with
Yes.
Kanan.
With Kanan.
Yeah,
Kanan,
Well, they
Kanan
both didn't come out. Just Jason.
Well, Kanan. That is Kanan and
Kanan
Hera's.
put that son into her.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you for that.
And
That's,
I guess
that's so
I
eloquent
guess-
of you.
I guess
Rob.
the Leku did not.
Rat
that
Rat
gene
needs
did
an
not get passed
explanation
on.
of exactly how her genital system works. And the
Jason
uterus.
has green hair because she's part.
They've never explained Twi'lek genitals in Star Wars, and it has
That reminds me of that one scene
they're not-
in.
like, so he's a mule, basically. Like, you can't cross species like that. Like that.
They did.
We don't know that. This is a
Whatever.
galaxy far,
Look,
far away. We
Kanan
don't
and
know.
Hera. That
Look,
was,
Peter
whatever,
Quill
that's-
certainly
that's-
tried.
yeah.
Peter
He's
Quill
a
is a mix between like a god and a
Yeah.
human.
It does look like an Oompa Loompa. You're right.
Like, he doesn't have.
Look, in Rebels, when they did the whole Jason Syndulla thing,
It was a bad thing to do.
it was so stupid. And
They shouldn't
him
have
having
done it.
green hair is the Twi'lek part of him.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
that's
what I
so
was
Doesn't
trying
make
to get
sense.
to.
You should have
Yes.
Twi'lek.
It's
That's-
a bit stupid.
It's so
You
stupid.
should have tiny Twi'lek like.
But I
That's
like
It's
just
that
unfortunate.
they
Speaking of
didn't
Leku,
they didn't go away from it when it was in the cartoon. They stuck to it in live action.
They did stick to it. They didn't.
now, speaking
Like,
of
okay.
Leku, so Ahsoka wants to get her spacesuit on, and
Yes.
in 15 or 20 seconds, she is suited up. She's got her head tail zipped up in this spacesuit and everything, man.
She's
That
ready
is
to roll, man. She's ready
Well,
to roll.
she's a Jedi. What do you?
that
She,
scene was done. Okay.
oh, I thought it looked cool.
That was
I thought it looked cool as well. The timing.
Clone Wars season 1, episode 2.
Yes,
Master
Plo
Plo
Koon.
Koon
Yes.
did the same thing. He got out on a ship and
Yep.
So is this just cobbled together pieces of better Star Wars? Is that what this show is?
No,
it's an homage.
we haven't
It's
even
an
hit the
homage.
peak yet,
No,
guys.
in fact, there were like
Wait till the
space
6th
battle,
episode.
The way they shot that space battle with a stationary, like the way that the ships moved, that was straight up old school. That was shot like Star Wars. Like,
This
like
was-
they're fighting
Well,
off-
they were
This
doing that on
this whole
purpose.
episode was very homagey to A New Hope. I felt.
It
like.
was
I
Is
did
it
like-
homage or is it derivative?
Well, it was
an
almost
homage.
plagiarized
It's
derivative.
an homage. No, what? It's not a plagiarized if it's the same franchise.
Don't we want it to be
Look,
more
listen to
homage?
Ted. Listen to Ted.
Oh,
Listen to Ted. He's the only one out of all of us getting this right. Okay.
I'm not putting
They
Ted's
still
stuff up.
hit the ship just as much, whether she was out there or not.
She
Okay.
know,
blocked
they-
a few shots.
She blocked
She
some
definitely
shots
blocked a
and
few
took out
shots, and she-
2 ships.
Did you
Yeah.
watch the show at all?
She
They
took
shot
out.
the ship like 40 times while she
Well,
was
yeah,
out.
but she
Like,
also
don't
took
shoot,
2
like-
down.
Like, don't stand on the thing you don't want to be shot.
I do like that she did not do a flying Mary Poppins move like Princess Leia in.
I didn't.
whatever.
She had magnetic boots also. I mean,
Well, but there was that moment where she's
Didn't
just
have
like
magnetic
floating,
boots.
and she said,
They
"Hey."
rolled into her. Did you
Yeah.
watch it?
she did have magnetic boots
No,
when she came
they-
back onto the ship.
No,
She
the ship rolled into her feet. That was
Well,
immediately
yeah,
out.
yeah.
no,
But
I'm
then
talking
afterwards
about
they
when she
stuck.
came back. You hear a
Oh, that was
magnetic.
not magnet boots. That's not
Yes, there were definitely some sort of magnet boot.
There was something going on there. You
That was
hear a
weird.
sound effect
Yes,
used
you do.
when she hits the ship again. I mean, I don't know
It is
how
strange that like
plain I can be. I mean, I don't know.
the hero ships always have a lot of shields, and then these little fighters, one
No,
shot,
those
they blow up.
lasers,
They-
those little green lasers that those guys had were a little weak. They were a little weak.
Well, right until they were weak. They were real
Little
dangerous
snub fighters.
until they were weak. Like that's the thing. Like,
Right.
oh gosh, Look,
and the
he
Purgle
has
threw
to
them
get in
all
this
off.
tail gunner position and just f's it up. She's just terrible at it.
No,
today there's the phalanx CWIS system on an aircraft carrier would have shot every last one of those things down with a computer doing it, like not a human in.
Well, luckily this is a galaxy far, far away,
and remember, this is a long time ago as well.
Oh,
yeah, this is a long time ago.
Prehistoric technology.
That's why they have P-13s or whatever their fighters look like. They look like.
I'm actually okay with them not having computer systems and AI systems that can.
Yeah, no, that's okay. It's just but then you get Luthen Rael's ship. That turret on that
awesome.
was 2 for 2. Okay,
but he also modified his ship quite a bit.
It was expensive.
He has. I like the shots of the wings doing the spin thing. That's sort of an homage to.
That was cool.
Mando season 2, where you could see Slave One spinning, or I'm sorry, whatever we're supposed to call it.
Yeah, I like her ship. I think it's
wow.
Starship.
Fire spray, Mikey.
My bad. The fire spray.
Or Boba Fett's ship.
What purpose does that serve? I wonder.
Or if you're David Dollar, Boba Fett's Starship.
Yeah, he has a hard time with that. It's okay. We're not all perfect. But Ray Stevens.
Does he want like the street?
I would love some Ray Stevens in this.
You mean Ray Stevenson?
Turn a squirrel loose in that shit.
Squirrel. Oh, that day. The squirrel.
Yeah, he was not in the episode enough. In fact, I wonder, like, if Ray has not been well for a while, and they're really just having him stand in one place and do a shot. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
He didn't seem well in that one. I mean,
yeah, he just
looked fine. What are you guys talking about? No, he didn't have a role this episode.
He was at the very end.
Well, they're going to.
He's like, oh, he must have been near death because he didn't have him. He didn't have him. He only had.
I just want to see him read people that. Yeah,
that's right. Earl's a doctor. He can look at Ray and say,
like he's a good size. Like there's nothing.
I was calling the ER. I was like, we got to get Ray down there now.
Earl was on like the telehealth deal.
Sorry.
He's trying to be like telehealth was a real thing. Like we really could diagnose people during COVID.
That's right.
Earl, how much you charging for telehealth?
No comment.
No comment. Exactly. And he's not charging you directly. He's charging the insurance companies. It's a little bit different.
Hey, guys, I need a little kickback. So if y'all could get the next COVID booster, thanks. I need a little big pharma kickback.
Yeah, I haven't had 105-degree fever in some time, so I might as well.
Yeah, it's so effective, too.
I haven't had
blood clots in my lungs either. So
I haven't had kidney failure.
We've got a new vaccine to help protect you from the blood clots caused by the vaccine.
Sweet.
So you can get both, and that'll
more
be great.
shots.
Yeah,
my heart's running a little too normal.
Yeah. I need some arrhythmia. I need some.
Who wants a normal size heart?
I can't be part of this. Okay, let's.
You're the one that brought it up.
I know. I
did this.
I did this to myself. Andrew, it's okay, man.
Look at Ted.
It's just puberty.
Ted is winning at life. I'm just telling you, Ted in the chat is just one. He's based.
He's stacking W's.
Ted is what you would call based. You're right. You're right about that.
No, look, I'm still on board with the show, though. I enjoy.
I liked the episode. It's nothing about. The only perfect Star Wars is obviously the original trilogy, and even the original trilogy has got some flaws.
Don't let Rhett and David Dollar tell you that the original trilogy has flaws, because it doesn't.
Yeah, who says that?
Well, come on, guys.
I mean, the special editions have flaws, but the original trilogy.
Yeah, the special editions do have.
Okay, guys, sorry, we don't. I'll concede that.
It's all good.
Earl, sing Jedi Rocks for us.
We do need more. We need more of that.
So what do we think? What are we getting next episode?
Okay, Nate's right. Rogue One is near perfect. Andor is near perfect.
Andor is
not near perfect.
No, Star Wars fans hate Andor. I
love Andor.
Look, Rogue One's big mistake was they warped out of the atmosphere in Jeddah. Okay. even in Ahsoka in
That's
episode 2, we had to wait when that thing was stealing the hyperdrive. They had to wait until they got out of the atmosphere to hyperdrive. That was a plot point. And Rogue One just said F it, and they just right out of there.
Yeah, they do. The problem with Star Wars is they don't follow their own established rules ever. Ever really. They never
don't have established rules.
They don't.
Like, I was going to say the same thing.
No, they're supposed to be.
They make rules, and then the next episode they're like, we didn't make that rule.
There are people who make the rules that nobody really cares to follow anyway. So half the rules are made up in DK books.
Half the rules are made up in DK. Well, no, I'm just talking about like on film, like stuff like live action. They kind of like set up. Here's what we can do in this universe.
Is it an exact rule, or are you just going, well, that's the way they did it in these films?
Not a rule. Maybe just like this is the way that it was done in the past. Why are we all of a sudden having light speed skipping, and why are we adding like
the future, baby,
light speed into another ship, and why are we doing things that look cool? All of it might look cool.
Creatives that just do what they want because they don't want to be written with any restrictions on themselves. Yeah, they don't like. They're not talented.
Harrison's ahead of me
to write. That exists.
What game are we watching, guys? I don't even know.
Clemson Duke, I guess.
Yeah,
Duke must have gone up.
No, they're up 13-7, and they just recovered a fumble on the goal line.
Yeah, Clemson was on the goal line, and they fumbled it.
I think, man, Clemson can't play like this against us. That's all I'm saying.
Dabo's going to be out of a job after this week.
Dabo, hot seat.
Dabo kept refusing to use transfer portal too. So have fun.
He's gonna be wide receivers coach.
I thought Clemson was going to go D3, and Clemson was going to retire if NIL became a thing.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said. He retired.
They need to transfer portal him out of that program. Is what they're going to do.
Dabo going to get back into corporate real estate. He leased my wife a store that she owned.
Andrew,
really?
Yeah. He was.
I really hope. I really hope Acolyte doesn't come out. I hope that. I hope that Iger. I hope Iger has seen that show and said,
"There's a lot of things on the chopping block."
Just like done.
Yeah, the only High
Republic writing
that
bad boy off.
Everything I know about the High Republic, I learned through Michael's tears as he just sobs talking about it, about how moved he is by
it. That's Padme's books. That's Padme's book. The High Republic. I feel like Iger is just not going to release a bunch of stuff that is maybe
slashing Marvel stuff, Star Wars stuff.
Well, we don't know if he's certainly delaying it, but that's all because of these strikes. That's all these strikes. It has nothing to.
I would be surprised if Acolyte does not disappear from the schedule. It may show up at some point, but I wonder if it will be just kind of casually forgotten for a while until things kind of settle down, until they get some like capital back with the viewer.
Like that could be
like a long way from that.
Oh, wow, Brian. Okay, Brian. He's reading High Republic.
Yeah, Lars.
No, it does. Yes, unmapped star systems, Purgles, the Santeca. Yeah,
the Purgles are like the Dune, the sand, the spice, whatever they're called.
I don't do Dune. You're the Dune guy.
Well, it's a long story.
The Navigators.
The Navigators. They're kind of like the Navigators.
People. Navigators are just people who are all
Hewitt.
They're so hyped up on it that they've turned into like these spice
lizards or something.
Lizards. So let's talk about this.
Fish. I don't know.
Let's talk about this ring that they're making.
What's Garrison? Yeah. What's happening with Garrison?
Mike Zero's putting out 5 videos a day now, and it's all garbage.
Mike Zero.
No matter what pace he's releasing them, they're always garbage. I mean,
but content is king. Content's king.
5 videos in a day.
Well, I mean, the more
that's all he does.
They're like all almost 10 minutes. They're 9 minutes each.
Views. That's the algorithm.
There's a lot of sites that do that. I mean, Star Wars Explained was at their peak. They were doing like a video a day at least, if not more.
Great viewership, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, but anyways, let's talk about this hyperspace ring thing. So the whole idea is they're going to be able to hyperspace into another galaxy, and they're making it so big so it can be a massive fleet that goes
further and faster is what they're saying, and they can push.
Well, it's not. I think they're making it so big that they can bring a bunch of stuff back.
Because in other words, Thrawn's been building an army.
Right. So that's what I mean. Like a whole fleet can come wherever, to and from, whatever.
No, we're saying the same thing, guys. You're saying the same thing.
Yeah. So they're wanting to bring Thrawn's fleet. He didn't. I guess he had a whole fleet that went with the Purgles.
The Chimera.
No, but that
it was just the ship, right?
It was
the
just
Purgle
one ship.
wrapped
It was
itself
just
around the big ship.
Yeah. He only So I don't know what he's.
The Thrawn is so persuasive. He's going to build from another galaxy.
From another galaxy of unknown.
Are we going to get
their
that?
Art, know how to take them over. Yeah.
So I've never read those books. What's the Thrawn trilogy?
Oh
man,
man,
Heir to the Empire.
There's 3 different Thrawn trilogies now.
The original.
They're the
I'm
original.
talking about the 90s.
Okay.
Heir to the Empire, right?
There's the original, and then there's the canon ones. The original's technically not canon yet.
The non-canon stuff. Who were the other galaxy people that came over in those?
Yuuzhan Vong. That's later.
But that wasn't anything to do with Thrawn, though.
Yeah, that was.
It wasn't.
That's New Jedi Order garbage.
It was. In fact, 20-something novels.
See, I've never read any of that, so I thought that was all connected.
Yeah, I read some. Vector Prime, Rogue Planet.
Yeah, Vector Prime was the first one.
Greg Bear is a good sci-fi author, and Rogue Planet is like
Is Rogue Planet the one that kills Chewbacca?
No, that's Vector Prime.
Well, it happens in Vector Prime. Yeah, a planet falls on Chewbacca.
Spoiler alert.
It was an asteroid.
You aren't reading good Star Wars until you read Glove of Darth Vader. That's all I'm saying.
That's a lot.
Is that with Luke?
There's no good.
Trioculus.
Trioculus.
Oh, maybe Luke's going to come back.
Luke. Yeah.
Trioculus has got some clone stuff of his own in his background.
I did see one video that thinks Marok is Luke.
No. Marok's going to be, listen,
Marok or whatever.
Marok's going to be nobody. Okay.
No, I know.
He's nothing.
He's going to be a Knight of Ren, I think.
He may actually be nothing specifically, like just a created manifestation just for this.
Just for this. Yeah. Now I will say that,
like he'll just like smoke, like they'll cut his head off and it'll puff of smoke.
He's gonna be a smoke monster from Lost.
Yeah.
Just something stupid.
I do have a lot of it, and it all involves Poggle the Lesser.
Mine all involves Shin Hati.
Billie Eilish. Yeah.
Look, she was good this episode. I like the kind of tension.
Intensity.
Yeah. She's
she was better here. Why do you paint? If you're the leader, what you don't want to do is call attention to yourself in combat because those are the first ones to get shot. So don't paint your ship a different color just because you're in charge. That's how you get killed.
That's the way you get.
That's why That's why they don't wear their general's hat when they're in they're out in the field. You know.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah, but Billie Eilish is, as I like to call her, she was better in this episode.
Ivana something.
Are you trying to say a Bond name? A Bond?
No. Her name Ivana. No, her name's like the actor.
Yeah, I thought that was Billie Eilish. Is it not?
No, sir.
No, her chest piece would be much bigger if it was Billie Eilish.
And well, we'll stop there on that one.
It's probably a good place to end. I don't know. I mean, the
episode, well, no, not stop the discussion.
The episode was
the Billie Eilish talk. I like this Shin Hati. Like I
do too.
I've seen a lot of people saying that she's probably going to turn at some point, which I think so. Don't disagree with, and I'm down for it.
She still wears her Padawan braid. No, because she still wear. Why would she?
She's the most psychopathic of them all.
Why would she still wear her Padawan braid?
Because she's his apprentice.
But
she's the apprentice of
Sith apprentices don't wear Padawan.
But he's not a Sith. They're in between. They're not. That's
not a red lightsaber, bro. That's orange. They're
fallen Jedi.
Sith, but
they're mercenaries, are what they
just
are.
Doing their own thing,
using the Force.
Garrison would call them gray Jedi.
I absolutely would.
Yeah. Wait, what did the audio description call them?
Oh yeah, you told
Fallen Jedi. No, not Fallen Jedi. What was it?
Former Jedi?
No, they called them
underwritten.
False Jedi. False Jedi.
False
Jedi. Yeah.
False
Jedi. Just because they lied at the beginning. I mean, they're not.
Yeah, but they're mercenaries who use the Force. That's what they are.
So are all those people that were behind Balin like part of his group, or is that part of?
They're all robots, aren't they?
We're all robots, man.
I thought they were robots.
It was just one robot. There was just one, or maybe two. There was two in that scene. There was one in the very back, one walking in the front.
There was a human leading them, I think,
or whoever's flying. There wasn't robots.
No, I think Michael's right. There was only one robot. I'm looking at the picture now on
they
screen.
Weren't flying. Yeah, I mean, those weren't robots flying the fighters either.
No, I'm talking about on the ground behind.
Right, I know. So they've got a little crew.
Well, they got a mercenary. They paid some people to be their henchmen.
Yeah, they're just bounty hunters.
So they're not with Morgan. They're with him.
Maybe she probably.
Well, they're working together.
The whole thing,
funding them. Yeah.
Don't you? So so next episode we're going to get sort of a forest search and a fight,
and that'll be forest. 20 minutes. It'll be 25 minutes long, and it'll just be them in the forest. And then
do we think Hera's going to show up? Do we think Hera's going to come?
Nope. Or is it going to be Ahsoka, Sabine, and maybe Hu Yang going to sneak aboard for the hyperspace jump?
To the ring. Okay, all right, I like
somehow.
that.
You know what I mean? That's kind of the vibe I got, because that ship seems to be not in great shape.
No.
Yeah, but
also it's Star Wars, and they could just kind of reconnect some wires in a couple different places.
But
and
also, the hyperspace ring's not quite ready. There's still some stuff that has to be completed.
They might meet
no, but I think the only thing it was just putting that last hyperspace drive into place.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know how long that takes. Could take a whole episode.
Yeah.
Yes, Ted. I want some Zeb. Really?
Yeah, I hope Zeb comes
in this. There will be no Zeb in this. That is they don't have the effects budget for that. There will be. I promise. There's no Zeb in it. I promise.
Why would they use him in?
Why would they use him in Mandalorian?
Yeah,
because this is just. They just crap out whatever's on their mind.
No,
there's not going to be Zeb. There ain't going to be no Zeb, everybody.
Wait. Okay, you're saying there's going to be no Zeb at all? Because I think there'll be Zeb at some point.
No Zeb.
I don't know how long.
I think I agree with Rhett that it may not be a big scene. He's not going to be able to.
Rhett's not saying big scene. He's saying nothing.
Rhett's not saying that.
I'm saying there's not going to be any.
I'm saying there will be.
I think.
I'm not saying there's going to be a lot.
I agree with you.
I think Hera
I think there will be.
Hera's going to go rogue at some point.
I think
Hera's going to go rogue, and she's going to go get Zeb. She's going to have to go rescue him. Yes.
No.
Zeb will definitely show up in this series. I'm not going to say that he's going to be a main player, but he's definitely going to show up.
What basis do you have to even say that, Rhett? Like, why do you think?
I can tell where this is going. They're just not going to. We're halfway through the show already. Nearly.
Well, it's eight episodes.
No, we're not. This is 8 episodes, isn't it?
I know, but nearly. We got one more, and we're halfway through.
With Rhett saying there's no Zeb, I actually want to say that Hera's going to go pick up Zeb at the beginning of the next episode. Hera's going to come rescue them, and they're all going to be back on the Ghost because Ahsoka's ship's done.
Yes, and then I'll clap my hands. I'll raise my.
Ship's not done. Ahsoka's ship was flying like crazy through those whales with no trouble at all.
It was but it landed in the forest, and it's done for because we need the Ghost.
It landed in a clearing.
You missed the
H. See when
you mean Rettit?
You missed the H after the R on this, Nate. Rhett.
Yeah, RHETT.
I saw it on Star Wars leaks.
Star Wars leaks.
Well, so the time we did see Zeb, he was stationary, basically. And I do see what Rhett's saying is that it is complicated if you don't have a huge budget like a TV show.
The difference is they've created the model now, and that's a huge deal in the effects world. Fair. That will make it a little bit cheaper if they want to use them.
They got to pay a lot more attention to make him move around, though. I mean, he can't sit on a bar stool for the.
I agree with Jacob. He'll show
really
up.
All that they have to do with him is put him in the front in the
cockpit
of the Ghost.
In the cockpit or in the cannon. Like he was
But they won't.
He was a shooter for most of it.
I'm just delivering the message. You ask them why they didn't put him in there.
Right. It's just not over.
Oh my gosh, Rhett.
We don't know that.
You've lost your mind.
There is no possible way that Zeb doesn't show up for at least 5 seconds.
Exactly.
This isn't a Mephisto situation.
Even if it's the very last episode of the season.
We just saw Zeb like 4 months ago.
I'm not saying Zeb is Marok. I mean,
maybe he's.
Zeb will come to help Hera rescue whatever situation Ahsoka and
this
Sabine
isn't like some random cameo that someone's expecting for no reason at all. This is like a reasonable expectation.
In live action.
Yeah, we've seen. Yeah, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't.
All right, so I think Brett and Jacob should make a bet on.
Deal.
I
accept whatever it is. I accept.
Jacob loves the gambling, just
I'll
like
shake my head.
Just like I love sneakers.
$10,000.
I'm up like 32 units this weekend.
You bet on Florida State, Jacob?
Oh yeah, I had Florida State money line.
Nice.
And I had the over.
So did my friend.
10,000 Republic credits.
Yes, Melissa. Maybe, this is sorry for the Star Wars conversation. Our bad. Our bad.
She's so lucky not to be watching this show.
You don't have to watch it either. You can choose not to. You can choose not to. If it's bothering you that much.
No, I'm
but
trying
you
to
will because you love it.
You're gonna love it.
You'll keep watching it because you love it.
That's I'm trying to preach the truth.
Oh yes, Andrew.
Yeah, another good.
Oh yes, Andrew. Yes, he needs to have the Wonder Woman.
Yeah, just bring him in.
But he's always sitting down, and they play themes.
He's just sitting down.
2 weeks in a row, Andrew's had the best.
Here's what we're gonna get. We're gonna get a flashback from Zeb is somehow gonna get like paralyzed, and he won't be able to use his legs, so he's just gonna be rolling around in like a Yoda chair. Like from the prequels.
Nate's right. Nate is right.
They only
this
animated.
Is why Red watches Star Wars. This is the fuel to fuel his rage. This is the only reason he watches.
Coaxium. Anybody remember Coaxium?
Oh yeah, I remember. It was a great plot point. It was a very important plot point. Coaxium was,
and that really important character that I can't even remember her name.
Nest.
Enfy's Nest, yeah.
How could you not? She was great.
Oh, dude, one of the best Star Wars, most impactful Star Wars characters ever.
Coaxium disappeared like a fart in the wind.
Hey, remember that big giant caterpillar that everybody's like, so wait a minute.
Crime Lord?
And I'm like, she's just a caterpillar in water. Why don't y'all just shoot her?
Yeah, this is an easy one. Who's she subject? Who's she?
The caterpillar doesn't like the sun just blow the roof off the place.
But wouldn't in return Jabba be an easy guy to just shoot and kill?
Yes,
you've established that big worm creatures are pretty nefarious.
It's Garrison. You're right. I mean, hey,
yeah.
I still believe
just choke him out.
Yeah,
or shoot him.
Just open the blinds.
Yeah.
I'm melting. Crap, I forgot about that.
All right. I think we're going to wrap it up here. We're almost at an hour. We're talking about a 30-minute episode. So I think we can. That's with credits. There's 35.
I wish it came on at 2:00. I would watch it tonight.
No.
And that's international credits included.
The 35 is with those
the dub credits.
Get all the
every single language.
Yeah.
Drop a toaster.
Yeah. I had to read backwards.
I feel like she even had like those glasses around a chain on her neck or something. Didn't she?
Yeah.
Like, she was real like.
Very much like.
It was like your grandma was like a
Wonderland.
gangster. And you're just like, well, I just got under it. It's like,
you could see during that segment.
Yeah. Are you sure that was a caterpillar? I couldn't tell.
It was shot very dark. Yeah, it was a choice. Garrison, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at gryfun3, GRYFUN3, Instagram as well. You can find me on Letterboxd at gryfun. You could find me maybe on this newest episode of the Deucecast. Just a little tiny amount.
Maybe a little bit.
And I think that's about it.
Awesome. Rhett, do you want anybody to be able to find you anywhere?
No, not after this episode.
Jeez. Earl is off the grid, but he does hang out in the Discord from time to time. Thanks, Ted. We appreciate it, man. I know it's a bunch of silliness, but we appreciate it anyways. Roth, talk about Good Day for a Movie podcast. Don't spoil the next movie, though. I haven't had a chance to listen to this episode yet.
Well, don't worry. I can't spoil it because we don't know yet.
Okay, good.
The last episode, though, was on the 1962 Jean-Luc Godard movie Contempt.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Earl, have you ever seen that movie? Are you?
No, I'm curious why y'all did that instead of Breathless for John.
Well, because it was in the theaters in Austin. There's some fancy theater that it was at Tate.
No, I'm not seeing this one.
I'm sorry, Tate. Yeah,
I would like to.
It was an interesting movie. It was very pretentious.
Thank you.
Was Sage back?
quite boring. No, Sage was not back in this episode. So we don't know what we're doing for the next episode. It could be a variety of things.
Hidden life.
I did see Tate saw Old Boy in the theater recently.
Oh, nice!
So
you went and saw that. Oh, that's awesome.
This is all non-episode stuff.
So Old Boy's tough to find streaming, though. I think.
Is it okay? So it probably won't be that. I don't know what we're gonna do next. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Spike Lee Old Boy might be easy to find.
Oh God, please don't
watch.
I promise I won't.
You ever seen Old Boy?
It totally misunderstands the point of the original film.
Mm-hmm.
Don't see that one.
Like so it's very up in the air for the next episode.
Old
Star Wars. Good grief. Red all of a sudden hates Dave Filoni.
I never liked him.
Oh, man.
Did you guys see that article where Matthew Wood said that George Lucas helped put together the sound team for the final fight in Kenobi?
Really?
Yeah, it was on Variety the other day.
Final fight was
the battle between
a Kenobi and Obi-Wan. They were really wanting to get the sound right, and they consulted George, and he helped put together the sound team.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
I mean, it sounded great. If I remember.
I guess. I mean, here's the problem with a lot of these shows is I don't necessarily take the time to go back and rewatch them after they're over.
Yeah.
And I did that with Mandalorian season 1 and 2 because I enjoyed those a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not compelled. I'm not compelled. Like Andor, I may rewatch.
I will rewatch
before the next season comes out.
Yeah.
Like
Has
right
season
before.
3 put you back on Mandalorian season 2 was good?
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, look, season 2 wasn't perfect, but it was better than season 3. So yes, maybe to answer your question,
close to perfect.
Season 2 is very good.
Yeah, it
season
was.
2 is good, but I mean, season 3 really helped me like season 2 more. So maybe you're right. I guess that's what happened.
Season 3 is like the sequels, what they did to the prequels.
Yeah.
That's
kind of, yeah, in a way.
Okay, that's interesting.
Except season 2 was good. So,
and I know there was news that kind of broke today from a somewhat reputable source that said Mando season 4 is going to be in 2025. I really wish it wasn't. I just wish that maybe there wasn't a season. I think it ended the way it needed to. Yeah. Like, I don't know why we have to keep going down that road.
Why do you think it's over?
I disagree.
Because it was like, it's a perfect Shane ending.
You've had this thought since the end of season 3. It's not over.
It should be.
Ted, are you sure about
Ted, is that a real thing?
I don't. I think he means 1932.
Okay, I think so too. That would make sense.
I thought 1883. Pretty much everybody. Well, I don't want to spoil anything. But
I mean everybody's pretty much dead.
Yeah. So
yeah, I thought maybe. I mean,
I think
there's some stuff. I don't know.
Ted, you shook us. We're like, wait, what?
Yes, Ted, I'm all I'm trying to
very confused. But
I'm all trying to you're coming out.
Mando should absolutely continue.
They can't even shoot the rest of Yellowstone season 5. So
they can't.
And they released the first half.
Taylor Sheridan.
Hey, do y'all think we're getting a Bo-Katan cameo in this show?
Yeah, she's coming. She's riding in with Zeb.
She might.
But
she was in Rebels.
Do we see Mando this?
Nope.
That's a good question.
I don't think they're trying to tie
Mando
that.
or Baby Yoda.
No,
I think they're going to give the episode 6 and 7. Robert Rodriguez is going to write and direct, and this is going to be crap.
Isn't this series supposed to lead to a movie though about Thrawn?
Yeah, Boba.
Like it's going to be the
Heir to the Empire.
The team up, whole big everything.
I mean, it literally was called Heir to the Empire at the.
Like there's a Bo-Katan show, right? Originally the plan.
No,
I hope not.
No, that was
I think we just saw a Bo-Katan show.
I think Skeleton Crew is a part of all this stuff.
I think Skeleton Crew is loosely part of this particular part of the universe.
Okay. Bad Batch. Maybe we'll get a live action Bad Batch.
Not getting any of that stuff.
I'm like Mike Zero over here. I'm just.
I don't know what's.
You ought to run the scoop crawl.
Does Luke show up?
Deb ain't showing up.
Luke.
I think Luke shows up again in Heir to the Empire, but I don't think they touch him for a while.
Yeah, I think they let that be for a minute. They need a higher budget to really make Luke look good, so they need a movie budget versus a show budget. But Iger could just blow the whole thing up.
Filoni's movie will
Iger's about to sell Disney to some like venture
Not really
capitalists.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even matter. Like
Saudi Arabia is about to own
movie will
Disney.
not get made.
Yes, Saudi Arabia is about to own Disney.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll be back next week for part 4 of Ahsoka. Really appreciate the chat hanging out. We had a good crew in there. Ted, Nate, Andrew, Brian, Matt was in there for a second. Melissa was in there for a second. Really appreciate all you guys hanging out. We will be back next week for part 4. Thanks again. Everyone have a great night.